All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers from GMS Atlanta Church. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144. I'm the brother Kashikwala.
Karatazah.
Brother Cardi.
Brother Shamak.
And we want to come at you with a lesson. The title of this lesson is going to be The Full Essence of Wisdom. All right, because we always speak about times that we're about to go in, like Jacob's trouble, primarily, which we're going to be speaking a lot about in this lesson. But in order to get the wisdom, you have to go through, you have to get the experience. And with experience, you have to go through something, all right? An individual who we was talking about fishing, all right? So individual who may watch a lot of fishing videos may have got the knowledge on it, but they ain't never been fishing, so he don't have the wisdom of it, so he doesn't have the full essence of the wisdom, all right? But he has the knowledge, all right, and he has the knowing part of it, but he hasn't gone through the experience or actually experienced fishing. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing here. We have the knowledge of what's to come with Jacob's trouble and stuff, but we haven't gone through it yet. So we're going to get the full essence of the wisdom once we actually experience these times that are quickly approaching. So without further ado, we're going to jump into Sirach 34 and 9. You got it, bro.
This is Sirach chapter 34, verse 9. A man that have travailed knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom.
That's right. A man who's travailed or traveled knoweth many things. You can speak to an individual just like on a carnal basis who's been across the earth. You know, traveled to Africa and traveled to Russia, Japan. He could tell you about all these different type of cultures because he's actually experienced it and been in there. Actually probably partook in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he could tell you, like, we could sit here and talk all up and down about Ammon, but I ain't never really been over there in the land of Ammon today, in terms, and actually experienced how their life is. You know what I'm saying? I haven't experienced it. So it's like, I got the knowledge of how Ammonite is, but I haven't experienced their culture, so I don't got the full essence of the wisdom. I'm not someone who literally has traveled, but this is going more so in the aspect of traveled in the spirit. That's why we look to our heads of our camps and and our apostles and elders on down to learn from the wisdom that they got. All right, so their wisdom turns into our knowledge, and then we end up probably going through it at a point, and then we get the wisdom that they've,
start applying.
Y'all can chime in.
I continue on.
Go ahead.
Verse 10, he that have no experience knoweth little, but he that have travailed is full of prudence. When I travailed, I saw many things, and I understood, and I understand more than I can express.
If I can say too, that's why a lot of times, that apostles and elders always say when you first come in, you basically a parrot, because you just repeating, what the man, above you, already went through, but as, the more or the longer that you in the truth, that's when, you start getting the experience like the officer that was speaking about, man. You start going through the trials and tribulations that the Lord put you through. You got your lows and you got your highs, and you got your in-betweens, to where, because we all know that, it's still a flood to come into this thing. So now when that flood come in, then we could teach our experience and what we've been through, and so on and so forth, man.
Yeah, I can bring out this experience etymology. This is the word experience on the etymology line. It touches on this is good points. It says it reads from the 14th century. It says observation as a source of knowledge, actual observation. It reads experiment, proof. It says knowledge gained by repeated trials.
Knowledge gained by repeated trials. The scriptures are very repetitive, and it tells you what to do and what not to do over and over and over again. All right. Another thing that you could say that is muscle memory. Like, and I know all these brothers used to play sport, but I'm gonna say football in general. To get quick feet, you may have done those ladder drills like 50,000 times, and now you got the memory. Your muscles have the memory, so now you can go quicker and quicker because you have gotten experience from when you first started doing it to all the way up until whatever. I was watching a clip from Kobe Bryant earlier today, and he was speaking on he used to live in Italy, and then when he came back over to the States, he was like, man, I wasn't that athletic compared to the dudes over in the States. He's like, man, shit, they was over here doing windmills behind the back, dunks and shit like that. And he was like, I had to get better, and I took it day by day. He's like, but it's not just a 1 or 2 month process. It's a 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12 year process that you have to continue repetitively and staying consistent with it. So it's the spirit. When you read these, like,
it's the same with it, like with spiritual accounts, learning the Hebrew, the etymology of words, it's everything, because the truth in general is vast, so it's so much to learn. It's never a point or a peak where where you stop learning.
Exactly. You can reread the book of Genesis 50 times and get a new understanding. I'm not saying that's like in a new doctrine, but like an understanding or a dark saying that was in there. And you get the full essence of it, like, oh damn, man, or actually have gone through something that maybe Joseph or Jacob had went through, and now you really understand what they were going through. You know what I'm saying?
I can
You say something, brother?
Oh, I had a precept just to back the brother point.
Okay, let him finish this real quick.
Yeah, I finish off real quick. It says, to try, test, meaning state of having done something and gotten handy at it.
You see, it says try, test, in the state of having done something, getting handy at it. Experience, exactly. What we're reading in Sirach 34, but also what? Zechariah. Two parts therein. She'll go through that fire and get tried.
Yeah.
That's what it says. You get tried, tested. All right, that's the fire and the tribulation that you go through. All right, the fire that is speaking about in 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter as well. She'll get tried. All right, that's the experience that you go through. Go ahead, bring the precept, bro. And you can break it down.
This is precept to back up the brother point. This is Baruch 3 and 14. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is length of days and life, where is the light of the eyes and peace. So the main point of this precept is basically, when you're learning, there comes wisdom. All right, and also there comes strength and understanding, man. All right, when you understand something, that's a part of strength, man. Okay, if you lacking understanding in something, though it be weak, but as you continue to learn and increase in that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you actually gain wisdom. Therefore, you get stronger. All right, and that's why being in Babylon in the valley of the shadow of death, wisdom is important, man.
Yeah.
Because these people out here are actually weak. Okay. The things of this world will make you weak, make you feeble, and it will destroy you, man. Okay.
Yeah.
But as you apply these scriptures and obtain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're gonna be strong in the Lord, man.
That's right.
That's the main point of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Yeah, just that. If I can add to your point, because a lot of people, especially in this information age that we in, they have a lot of knowledge. But like we say all the time, they don't have a filter. The scriptures and the Bible, the Holy Bible, that's the filter that you're supposed to use, man. Because that's how you apply the knowledge. A lot of people just have that knowledge part, but it actually takes the wisdom to receive the salvation, man. And that's what we're basically speaking about in the lesson, man. Because like we were speaking about before the camera cut on, as far as us Jacob's trouble coming, pursuing the Jeremiah the 30th chapter and the 7th verse, it tells us that at last Jacob's trouble is here. But just going back to the point, we haven't actually experienced, a city a certain part of your city full of blood and dead bodies,
Yeah, con.
you know, or someone actually get put to death right in front of your face, you know, but through having the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on your side, that's where the experience is gonna come, man. You know. Yo, I had something if y'all.
Go ahead.
Con, yeah, those are on that.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. I'll start at verse 22. It says, "For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power." And just on that, particular points, having all power, that's going to actually have you make it through, man. Because a lot of people, all these guys, who just have that knowledge part, and they're not going to make it, because they're going to see these things and bug out, But once we see these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we'll continue to get stronger. That's what we'll have spiritual powers, man. It says, overseeing all things and going through all understanding, pure and most subtle spirits. So it says, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. This is the point that I wanted to get. This verse 25. It says, for she is the breath of power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her, man. That's why it's important to get closer to wisdom, man. Because she's at the end of the day, it's the influence coming from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which cannot be defeated.
Get Sirach 24 and start at 1.
Count.
I got you right
Okay. 24.
24. Sirach 24.
here. Okay, con.
Start at 1.
Con. This is Sirach 24 and verse 1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud.
That's right, go ahead.
I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compasseth the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep.
Yeah, so you can link this up with John 1 and 1. You can link this up with Genesis, so you understand the essence of the script of who was speaking about, really. Go ahead.
John, verse 6, it says, in the ways of the sea and in all the earth and in every people and nation I got a possession.
That's right.
With all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob,
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
and thy inheritance in Israel.
That's right. Go ahead.
He created me from the beginning before the world,
This is it.
and I shall never fail.
There you go. So that's the wisdom. All right. He created from the beginning of the inception of the world, and I shall never fail. All right. Get what's that? Get John. Let me see if I can find it real quick. All right. Because he said we know that's on a when you apply that, that's your Howard Shai, man. That whole time speaking.
If you want me to grab this about 463.
Let me get this real quick. This is that's not what I meant. This is a good one. I'll get this one because this one's good too, but there's another script in the book of John where Yahweh Shai said, you pretty much keep my commandments, then you shall never die. All right, but here's another one. This is John 11:25. Yahweh Shai said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. All right, that sounds like you never fail right there, like it just spoke about in Sirach. And this is the wisdom. All right, so verse 26, it says, whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the wisdom right there. That's the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding packed into 2 verses right there. All right, that goes to show you that the wisdom is really Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
That's how you know when we're going into these times that Yahweh Shai, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, is the only one who's going to get us through this.
That's right.
You know? But yes, we haven't experienced and seen people drop dead or get. Think about the brothers always, love to bring out Psalm 91.
Mm-hmm.
10,000s fall at your side, 1,000 at the other.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't seen that yet.
God.
But think about being in that position where there's literally bodies dropping around you.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's coming nigh unto you.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't experienced that yet. We have the knowledge of that. We have the knowledge and understanding of that, but we haven't actually experienced that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that's going to get us through is our belief in Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
You want to get that?
Yeah,
Sirach.
Sirach 4:16.
Yeah. Start at 15, actually.
This is Sirach chapter 4, verse 15. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely.
That heard. Get Proverbs chapter 1.
I'm already.
Get Proverbs 1. Get like verse 7, I want to say. Read what verse 7 says.
God. This is Proverbs 1 and verse 7. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Go up a little. Let me see.
Talking about, I know verse 2 is, chapter 2 was another one like that.
Yeah,
Very good.
Verse 5.
God.
Salaki.
This is Proverbs 1 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
A wise man will hear and increase learning. The reason I want to bring this out, because it's always speaking her, she. I know, Akim who are learned and it understands what that means, but there may be some who watch who don't understand. Why is it always saying her? You know what I'm saying? So reread that again.
God. This is Proverbs 1 and verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels.
That's right.
To understand that proverb
That's right.
and the interpretation, the words of the wise.
So in the verse above, in verse 5, it told you a wise man will hear, okay, meaning not speak. And I know at the end of verse 5 it has a colon there, meaning an explanation is about to come.
Mm-hmm.
This is that explanation. That explanation is about to come is pretty much in verse 5 telling you how to understand verse 6, the things said in verse 6. So go ahead.
This is verse 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation.
So to understand a proverb and interpretation, you got to be a wise man that listens.
Mm-hmm.
Like it said in verse 5. Go ahead.
The words of the wise and their dark sayings.
And their dark sayings. When it says her, she, this, that, and speaks in a feminine type, characteristics, that's a dark saying to some individuals. But the her and the she that is saying in here is the wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, get 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 55.
I got you right here. 2nd Ezra 13 and 55. Thy life has thou ordered in wisdom, and has called understanding thy mother.
See, thy life has an order and wisdom and called understanding thy mother. Well, we know mother is a feminine type, individual, but what is a mother? It's nurturing. It cares for you.
Looks after you.
It looks after you. Sticks by your side. All right? All of that. That's what wisdom does. That's why it's referred to as a she. It weans you.
Mm-hmm.
Is you finished on the Proverbs?
It's one more.
Okay.
God,
Let me go back here. Yeah,
this is Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
That's right. But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Mhm.
All right. That goes to show you that knowledge is like the first. The fear of the Lord is the first step. Then you get the knowledge. Oh man, all these things are coming.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm an Israelite. Okay, then what?
Mhm.
Okay, now you know. What are you gonna do with that know?
Exactly.
All right, put it in fruition. All right,
Mhm.
make it come alive, and that's the wisdom. All right,
Mhm.
you finish that off, and we'll get your precept.
It says, it reads, verse 16, Surah 4 and 16, if a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession.
Yeah, if he commit himself unto it.
Mhm.
All right, meaning diligent.
Yeah.
Karatazah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Be diligent in it. That's committing oneself to something.
Mhm.
They're consistent and consistently diligent. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17, for at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways and bring fear and dread upon him.
Exactly. She'll walk within the crooked ways. The crooked ways is you going through the experiences,
Yeah.
gaining her. You see, she's proving you. You got to go through it.
God.
You know, brothers may not have experienced certain things that other brothers went through, and then a year later, you experience it.
Yeah.
That means wisdom is you're obtaining wisdom,
Mhm.
and she's, you know, like Jake, she fucking with you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She rocking with you.
Mhm.
You know, go ahead.
And bring fear and dread upon him and torment him with her discipline until she may trust his soul
Yep.
and try him by her laws.
Because wisdom she'll take you through that.
Mhm.
All right, torment you, take you through things, see if you're worthy enough.
Mhm.
Okay, it either takes you to see if you're worthy enough, or to see if you're a scruple.
Mhm.
Okay, that goes back to Ephesians 4 and 30, grieving the Holy Spirit. Okay, grieving the Holy Spirit, that's you grieving wisdom.
Mhm.
The word grieve means to offend. That's the same thing the word scruple means. You're scruple. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 18, then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him
That's right.
and show him her secrets.
And show her secrets, man. Just think about it like as a carnal lady, man.
Mhm.
All right, you take her out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You may go through things.
Yeah.
Then she see that she trusts you.
Mhm.
Then she show you them secrets, baby.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Going back to the motel, hotel,
Yeah.
and show me them secrets.
God.
You see, she exposes herself to
Holiday
you.
Inn, man.
Yeah, the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, and expose them secrets to you, man. It's-
God.
yeah, I'm just having some fun with it, but like in all actuality, that's really how it is.
Yeah.
It tests you before. Okay, I can open up to you now.
Yeah.
You know.
To just to add to your point, because the scriptures say, it was that Amos the 3rd chapter that basically the Lord reveals the secrets to his prophets.
Mhm.
You know, but the scriptures also tell you in Ezekiel to eat the whole roll. You know, so you have to eat the whole roll in order to stand. You know the history. You know the breakdowns. You know, so that's the wisdom and knowledge that you obtain. Because Isaiah 33:6, that's gonna be our salvation, man. The wisdom and knowledge, man. You know, the appliance of the knowledge. You know.
God.
You can bring your precept and we'll get your precept.
This is basically just a precept just going into how the brother spoke about believing on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. So this is John 14, starting at verse 9. It says, Yahweh Shah saith to him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? So Philip basically asks Yahweh Shah, to show us, the Father. And Yahweh Shah basically is rebuking him. And it says, verse 10, Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The word that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but of the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. Believe me that I am the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for every very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. You know, so the same works that that Yahweh Shah did. You know, the man of the Lord is going to do those same works and greater, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because we believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You know, and it says, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. And do we not ask for spiritual powers? You know, do we not ask to be saved during Jacob's trouble?
Right.
You know, do we not ask for endurance? You know, just going back to the topic of the lesson, hey, believing on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, that's what's gonna get you out of here, man.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah, but in land backing off the brother before I grab the precept, that's a wise thing that we do ask for those things, that endurance, that fear, because we not something that's not wise to ask for. Oh, let me ask for this girl. Let me ask for some money. Dude, those temporary things. It's wise to ask for those things. We seen that account with King Solomon. He asked for the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and he received everything, man.
That's right.
So that's a wise thing, especially for new listeners and everything. It's a wise thing that you take heed. That's a wise action. So this is Sirach chapter 6, verse 34. It says, "Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise." So it was a wise thing for of course, our brothers coming in that came in. Hey, we're not saying double honors for no reason, man.
Yeah.
We just so we learn from. Is it not a wise thing to learn from someone that has been doing this profession for 30 plus years, 25 plus years?
Exactly.
Is that not a wise thing?
Exactly.
And what is not wise to think you can do just lean upon your own understanding.
Yeah.
That's not wise, man.
Yeah.
That can have you buck out. Okay.
These guys. That's why if I can say so, that's why we say when these guys call these guys who just not coming to the truth elders. How can you get learning from them when they've never been through it? They've never been through the things that the apostles and elders have been through. So how can you call them an elder, man?
Right.
That's total up and down disrespect, man. Because the apostles and the elders, man, they stayed down.
Yep.
They didn't turn their back on Yahweh Shah. They didn't go back into the world and say, I ain't doing this no more. They've been through numerous amount of things that they don't even put out, man.
Yeah.
Dealing with heavier, demons, than us younger brothers.
Yep.
The burden of carrying, the men of GMS on their back. So how dare you disrespect the apostles and elders by calling someone else who basically just now coming into the truth of elder, man.
Yep.
That's right.
Continuing on, verse 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. So yeah, seeking counsel, that's a wise thing to do. Not just lean upon your own understanding. Not letting the wisdom escape you, man. Like the brother said, Officer Karatazar said, he said, staying down. It's a wise thing for you to still be in this truth. You prayed, you fought the good fight, to continue. That's a wise action. We gotta continue growing in the wisdom, because without that growing, man, you steadily decline. You stagnate, yeah. Yeah.
You guys are coming.
Yeah.
Come. This is Proverbs 2 and verse 4. If thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, which we do, You start, once you get in this thing, you start asking questions. You start digging into certain things. You start praying to the Most High, hey, can you provide this for me? Can you provide that for me? All right, and it's like hidden treasures, man, okay? And once he revealed those treasures unto you, what the scriptures also say, store them up in your heart with your la'at, man, okay? And you keep these things that was taught and that was shown unto you, and you take it, man, all right? And use it for endurance, man, okay?
Right.
And then it said,
What verse you on?
verse 4.
Start 2.
Con. This is Proverbs 2 and verse 2. So that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to the understanding. It's like a two understanding. Verse 3, yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and lifteth up thy voice for understanding. Verse 4, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures. Verse 5, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and find the knowledge of the Most High. Verse 4, for the Lord Yahweh giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. And I noticed earlier these two brothers mentioned, you know, when you ask the Lord to give, all right, there will go another precept with the Lord, hey, he will freely give you wisdom if you ask for it. If you keep seeking for her, if you keep longing for her, and you being diligent to search her, man, the Lord is gonna bring her unto you, man. And you're gonna have that wisdom, okay? I'm gonna continue. It says, he laid up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the path of...
See, he says gives sound wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
All right? There's wisdom out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But is it sound?
But is it sound? Is it sober? Is it in its right mind?
Mm-hmm.
All right? You got the wisdom of the Book of the Dead.
Exactly.
You got the wisdom of
evil. Jake just out here, you know, these scammers and finesses, goddamn.
you got that kind of
Yeah.
wisdom. You got wisdom of the Quran. All right. What wisdom are you obtaining though? Are you obtaining the sound wisdom coming out of this book? You see what I'm saying? Are you obtaining this sound wisdom, sober wisdom, clean wisdom? The brother read it in Wisdom of Solomon of the 7th chapter. It says it's clean and undefiled.
Yeah.
Are you receiving that wisdom? Because all other wisdom is undefiled. You can read about it in Genesis the 3rd chapter. What kind of wisdom did Eve get?
Yep.
It wasn't the sound wisdom. The wisdom and knowledge was not to eat of that tree.
Yeah.
That's why
She got. Oh, go ahead.
Kind of salaki, but that's why the scriptures do say none shall want her mate.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, you good with this book, man? You good with this book alone, man? This is gonna get you delivered.
That's it.
On a chariot, bro.
That's why the scriptures also Yahushua said, "Keep your eyes single."
On
what? Her.
That's right.
Which is that wisdom. All right, you got it, Zakar.
Lord, I come in the volume of a book, man. Okay? But yeah, I'm going to continue. I'm going to just reread verse 7 and then continue. It said, he laid up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly, to keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints.
See? Preserveth the way of his saints. So yes, we haven't gotten the full experience of Jacob's trouble, but the sound wisdom is going to preserve us. All right? The sound wisdom is going to preserve us, and that's Yahushua. We haven't seen a dead body. We haven't seen a person get a head cut off in front of us. We haven't experienced what the brothers experienced in 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter. Both the officer and the brother were saying, we haven't experienced half the things that apostles and elders have gone through, and that's in our lifetime.
Exactly.
You see, that's how we know the only thing that's going to get us through is the wisdom of Yahushua.
That's right.
When we do experience the full essence of wisdom. What were you going to say, brother?
You hit that point where you mentioned the Maccabees, like these things are written for our learning. You know, we were in that time and that day because it's going to be hectic. You know, it's going to be all out hell. You know, we're gonna think back. You know, this is gonna hit our mind to think back to spiritual accounts in the scriptures. Like, okay, what did what did the prophets do? Hey, be still and let Yahweh Shem Yahshua work. That's wisdom. You know, people that's not gonna have wisdom, they're gonna be tripping out trying to think they can have control over things. Like, they're gonna force things and cause them on suffering. But you're gonna have wisdom, man. You're gonna be complete. You're gonna be calm, cool, collected.
Well, that's in the book of Psalms. It tells you to be still.
Yeah.
When Yahushua was in the boat, you know, trying to go to, man, this is the only time I get to sleep and y'all fucking with me, man.
Exactly.
Ain't even that deep, just, you know, chill.
And that's why Jonah, that's what happened to Jonah, because he tried to run, man.
See,
he tried to run from the spirit.
You can't get away.
Yeah.
All right. And it tells you that in Genesis too.
Yeah.
He asked both Adam and Eve what the heck they did, and he's like, well, because I heard you was coming, you know, that's why I hid myself. What you hiding for? All right, you must have ate of the tree. Can't keep anything from the Lord. Yeah. Adam didn't say he ate from the tree, but the Lord already knew it because he's hiding from it. You know. Also, the scriptures say, "Force not the course of the river."
That's right.
All right, where it says confess your faults and force not the course of the river.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who gonna force the course of the river. The river's
Right.
running north. You're gonna try to run south.
Against the
You
current.
running against the current, going against the grain, being
Mhm.
unorthodox.
Yeah.
It's gonna get you fucked up.
That's right.
Like teaching during martial law.
Teach it.
No wisdom at all.
Teaching during martial law
Or taking the vaccine.
or taking the vaccine,
Man.
and then wanna back it up with scripts talking about.
Right.
You see when Paul got stoned.
Right.
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, from what I know, when Paul got, it wasn't martial law going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Roman troops weren't in there.
Uh-huh.
70 AD didn't happen right there.
God.
Okay. Yahushua was in parts where people wanted him to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yahushua disappeared, dipped, because he was wise
Yeah, exactly.
and he knew it wasn't his time yet.
That's right, man.
That's it.
What are you talking about? Go out there and martial law. That's not wisdom. They don't know the wisdom. Yahushua said it best. Have you not read?
That's
Have
right.
you not read the wisdom of Yahushua?
That's right.
You think when they wanted to kill him and lay hands on him that he just stuck around? Yahushua disappeared. You can read it multiple times in the scripts where he disappeared.
God.
Yeah. It speaks about fleeing that city that doesn't take heed to thee.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Come on, man.
That's right.
Yeah, you go ahead.
You wanted James 1:5.
No, Slagi, you ain't finished with your precept, right? Go ahead, bro, and you break it down.
Kind. It says, in verse 9 it says, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity,
Equity.
the water.
Mhm.
Yea, every good path. When wisdom enter unto thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. And that's the main point. That's what we want, man. All right. That's why we continue to ask and search for wisdom.
Mhm.
What wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time, man. All right. Hey, that's what we want, man. We want to be stable. We want the Lord to defend us and want to move in wisdom, man.
That's right.
Not in our own ways, man. All right.
Yeah.
Because we could deceive ourselves.
Yes.
All right. Woe to
Be
you
not
that have
on-
lost patience, man.
Yeah.
Be patient, man.
Mhm.
Just wait on the spirit.
Be still, man.
That's right.
God.
You know. Yeah.
Oh, did
You
you
got a
want?
precept?
Yeah, I had something.
Yeah, call for it.
Yeah, I know you called for that.
You
James.
could drop
Okay,
that. We can finish on yours.
Alright, kind of. This is Rock 44:1. Says, let
441. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one to finish
Yeah.
off on.
Yeah.
Yep.
It says, let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning.
Yeah, see, that's the scriptures. We brought it out in Proverbs. That's dark saying,
Mm-hmm.
manifold, trifold, doublefold. You know,
Mhm.
there's things that you got to understand. Hey, those fathers forgot us. That's why there is no other reason why Apostle Gabar came out with that video, man. Hey, make amends with your father,
father.
with your biological father.
Mm-hmm.
Make amends with your spiritual father too.
Yeah, and he mentioned in that video that was one of the heaviest lessons that he ever did.
Bro, and when I was listening to it, I'm like,
Yeah.
it makes complete sense.
Yep.
All right? Make amends with your spiritual fathers too.
Mm-hmm.
That's doing right. He says giving the praise to who?
It says,
Praise famous men.
Yeah, famous men.
Giving your double honors to your spiritual fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm not just speaking about Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ariamla, Apostle Racha. I'm speaking about all the Elder Manatazak, Elder Ibad, all these, Elder Yashwamba, Elder Ariala,
Mm-hmm.
all right? Elder Aratazar here, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Bishop Atazwam here. You know, we give
Yeah.
credence to these men. These are our spiritual fathers.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? We pay homage,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 3, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies.
Giving counsel by their understanding, giving counsel by the experiences that they went through. That's why we started the inception of this lesson with Sirach 34.
Mm-hmm.
The experience, the how far they've traveled.
Exactly.
I can't sit here and say I traveled 30 years in the spirit. I'm a follow an individual who has. That's a renowned man.
That's right.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a famous man right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's a man who deserves some type of respect.
Yeah.
You You see? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people.
Ooh.
Wise and eloquent.
You see, by the learning of knowledge, meet for the people. The word meet means acceptable for the people.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That knowledge and counsel that they give is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
All right? What I think there's something called, can someone look up the word subverting? Because I know it says that in Timothy. Timothy, get 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 14 real quick. I think it's that. But get the word subverting. What's that? Oh, you know?
You said 14?
Yeah, get that real quick.
This is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 14. Of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers.
See, of the subverting of the hearers, not to, but it says, reread it again, brother.
This is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 14. Of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit.
Words of no profit, meaning fruitless discussion. Fruitless discussion. Vain. All right, vain meaning it doesn't matter. All right, but subverting of the hearers, correct? What's the word subvert?
Subverting in Greek is a catastrophe, meaning overthrow, destruction, extinction of a spirit of consecration.
See, that's not the words that they're not overthrowing or destroying the spirit with vain talk, empty conversation. You see what I'm saying? But was there more?
Nah, that was it.
Come. You know, you can drop that. You can continue on yours, bro. Break it down. Salaki.
Oh no, he's on point, bro. It says, "Wise and eloquent are their instructions." Verse 5, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing, which those musical tunes is this new song that we're speaking. You know, the apostles and the elders have been singing it, like the brother's saying, they've been singing this song for over 30 years, man. You know? And it says, rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. It said, there be of them that have left their name behind them, that their praises might be reported. And some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them. But these were merciful men, whose righteousness have not been forgotten. And this is going into reincarnation, man. You know, because the disciples that was back then during Yahushua, they're back today, man. And they're getting that praise that they deserve, man.
Prophets are subject to prophet.
That's right.
It says, verse 11, with their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. And that was pretty much the point that that we were bringing out, man.
Yeah, you can finish it.
Oh yeah, so just to close out the lesson, man, just keep building in the spirit and keep getting closely acquainted with the wisdom, man, because the time that we're in now, hey, you're gonna need it, man. Read Isaiah 33 and 6, man. It's a classic scripture. So that was all we really had. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We're going to go ahead and close out by giving our praise and infinite glory into
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well. And peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom.